Before we get into a lot of examples using Beat Detective, I want to give you an overview of the Beat Detective window. Now, you can get to the Beat Detective window under the Event menu or by pressing Command 8 on your numeric keypad. And that, of course, toggles it on and off. First of all, Beat Detective's not just for audio. It's also for MIDI. And that means that you can line up a MIDI groove or MIDI drum parts with audio and vice versa. So it really works nicely. Whatever you're working on, though, you need to tell Beat Detective right up here. And again, many examples will be coming. On the left, we have 5 radio buttons. These are 5 different things that we can do with Beat Detective. The first, bar beat marker generation, allows us to generate markers that correspond to the transients that are in the audio, or the MIDI. The groove template extraction allows us to extract the rhythmic and dynamic information from audio or MIDI and save that information to our groove clipboard or as a digigroove, which is a special kind of groove that we can then use to apply to other audio and MIDI. Now notice that I said rhythmic and dynamic information. Yes, Beat Detective can actually determine the dynamics of your transients and apply them, for example, to MIDI velocity. Pretty cool. Region separation is where we take the different slices and we separate them and create new regions based on whatever we detected up above. This only works with audio. Region conform, again audio only, allows us to then take those separated regions and align them up to the current tempo map. We can conform audio regions to grooves, or we can quantize them to bars and beats and subbeats. And finally, there's edit smoothing, which fills all of the gaps between your regions that you've conformed and automatically puts crossfades between each of your regions, so it makes it nice and smooth. You don't hear any pops and clicks. Let's take a closer look at each of these sections. Under bar beat marker generation, we have a selection area. This is where we define the region that we want to process using Beat Detective. We can take the time signature of the session, or we can change the time signature, and we can also say how specific are the beats. In other words, how fine are the transients that we want to be detecting. We'll show you this in great detail. And then over here is where we detect the transients. There are different algorithms, high emphasis, low emphasis, and enhanced resolution. And there are different types of detections, normal detection and collection, where we can take analysis of multiple audio files and combine them all together. For example, if you have a drum kit, you may want to process the bass drum, the snare, and the overheads all separately, and then put them all together and process the hi-hats, for example. Under Groove Template, we can also extract the groove, the feel of the audio, and as I said earlier, we can apply that to other MIDI or audio regions. Under Region Separation, we can separate the regions. Under Region Conform, we can decide how strict we want to be in conforming our audio. So we've sliced it up. Do we want to make it 100% strength? In other words, it lines right to the bars or beats, or do we want to give a little bit of leeway there? Do we even want to swing the audio? And finally, there's Edit Smoothing, which is where we tell Beat Detective to just fill the gaps or to apply crossfades and how long the crossfade should be. So in the next section of the course, we are going to walk through examples of every type of use of Beat Detective. And I'm going to show you how to use this window to process audio and MIDI to do all of the great things that Beat Detective can do.